I have four options when you want to get out of debt. State. So you're in debt and you really don't know where to start. You go to your bank, you want to talk to a financial advisor because that's what you call them, and you tell them, I'm in debt, I need help. So the first thing that you think of, because it's the only thing that you know, is can I consolidate all my credit cards? And can you give me a better interest rate than 20%, 25% that's on my credit card? That's what we call a consolidation loan. Most people probably revert to that because they think that's the only way. And then when the bank says no, sorry, no indication of why, no indication of how to help, they just say no. They might give you reasons and you're like, how do I help that? Your debt servicing ratio is this amount and we only approve to this amount. And you're like, okay, so I can't get any loan. So what do a lot of people do? They go to these payday places where they're charging 50%, or they go to these high interest lenders and they're willing to do it, but they're doing it at 50%. But in your head, you're thinking, yeah, but I have one payment. I have one payment, not realizing that you went from 25% on debt to 50%. Okay. This is going to last me 7 years to pay this off at 50%. Is that, and your payments are not necessarily different, but it feels better because it's one payment, but it doesn't really feel better because it didn't save you money every month, didn't free up any cash flow. So what do a lot of people do? They haven't changed their lifestyle. They haven't changed their spending habits. They typically go back to their credit cards and rack that up because I haven't really saved money on the cash flow side. But I'm not going to stop going to the pub every week. Again, it's a vicious cycle. So I would encourage you who think about consolidation as an option. I'll be honest with you, it is a great option. But before that, there is a bigger problem, and that's just a symptom of the problem you have. The symptom is you being out of control with debt and feeling uncomfortable, feeling stressed out, living paycheck to paycheck. The bigger problem is not looking at where your money is going and where this money is going, where your hard-earned money is going. That is the bigger problem. So consolidation is one option. My experience in the financial industry for 26 years, what that looked like when clients came to me for help with debt. The second option is very much the same, to refinance either an existing loan or a mortgage. So you have a loan already. Can you just roll all this other debt into this loan already? I'll save a lot of money. Some people might get approved for it. Some people might not. If I were to look at a refinanced mortgage, one of the things that I would probably encourage you to do is to really understand what that's going to do. Because remember, a mortgage is done over 25 years, right? The banks structure it so that you're paying them for 25 years. And let's say they sell you on the fact that you're saving a lot of money, and you probably will be saving a lot more money by doing a refinanced mortgage, hopefully, if rates are lower. But the key is to not go back to that debt. And that's the biggest problem, I think, when people do something with their debt and consolidate it or combine it or refinance it, is they actually make the mistake of going back to debt when they haven't fixed any problems at all. Okay. But with a mortgage, it's even more dangerous because you're attaching this debt that you accumulated to this home that you don't want to be paying forever on. One day you want to be owning your home, right? Because as long as you have a mortgage, you actually don't own your home. Let me say that again. For as long as you have a mortgage, you don't own your home. So you might as well be renting. That's what you're doing. I hope you caught that. And I hope you don't feel bad about that. But it's true. Because you know that you owe the bank. You're not putting money into a home, you're paying the bank back. The bank owns your home. Yeah, you own it too, but they get first if you can't pay. Just like a landlord will kick you out if you can't pay the rent. So to me, being very careful about refinancing stuff into your home, if you actually want to own your home one day, which is what most people do, is they buy a house because they want to own it one day, is make sure that the banker knows that you want to pay off your mortgage in the same time as it was planned. So if you had 18 years left on your mortgage, then make sure that the banker sets it up so that your mortgage with this new debt attached to it is still going to be paid off in 18 years. Don't let them extend it out 25 years. You're still going to save money. You're going to free up cash flow. Okay. Now, what do you do with this cash flow? Like I mentioned, some people may not have the luxury of having extra cash flow. So what do? They go back into debt. So that's a never-ending cycle. In a mortgage situation, if you were to refinance your mortgage and you freed up a bunch of cash flow, do something with it. Don't just spend more money, because I think that's typically what people do. And I can prove it. I can prove that they do. But do something with that. Take a look at the asset side of the equation, because a lot of people don't. They only take a look at how their liability side, their debt side is stressing them out. They don't take a look at the asset side, the wealth side of the equation, because you need to be working that too at the same time. The banker you come to will not help you with that, because you ask for one thing, they're going to do it. They don't think outside the box for you because they have so many other clients to help, unless you ask them, hey, I want an entire financial plan to get me debt-free by this time and to be able to retire at this age. Try that at the bank and see what they come up with, okay? And if it's not feeling good, then come back to me. All right. Next way to get you out of debt, one option is bankruptcy, guys. A lot of people refer back to bankruptcy, or maybe a less urgent version of bankruptcy, a consumer proposal. I feel like this is your last resort next to selling your home, but I feel like it's your last resort. Nobody should be going to bankruptcy first. They should be finding a way to working out of this mess themselves. Because let's face it, you got yourself into the mess, okay? Because it's not going to fix a problem that you actually have. The overspending problem is what you have. Because let's face it, if you were actually spending what you earned, then you wouldn't be in debt. So you were overspending. And bankruptcies, although might help you, give you peace of mind for the time being, if you haven't eliminated that habit of overspending, you're going to find yourself back in the same position. And it's not going to feel good. And you know how it feels, because that's how you feel. So you feel badly about it. You feel stressed. You feel overwhelmed. So before you even think about that, the last option for getting out of debt, finally getting out of debt, is coming to me. Why am I different? And I hate to say this, but the reason I'm different is because I look at your cash flow. A lot of people like to refer to it as your budget. Call it whatever you want. I just find that the word budget sometimes really turns people off. Don't tell me how to spend my money. I know how to spend my money, okay? Do you? Listen, I've been there. I know exactly how you're feeling. This is why I'm so passionate about what I do, is because I know what my problem is and what many people's problems are, is they don't look. They just don't look. You know, when you make $1,500 and you spend $2,000, it seems pretty obvious. Where did the other $500 go? Why do I need to spend an extra $500? Or why do I need to borrow $500 every time I get paid? Just look. And it might be a very simple answer, and it might be maybe a decision you need to make. But the key is just to look. So what I do for my clients is to help them look. Maybe I look for them and just lay it out on the table. Maybe that's what they want, right? But I help my clients look without any kind of judgment, without putting my own values on their situation. Because I know that's how it might feel when you talk to somebody who's in finance. You feel like you're going to be judged, and you're not going to be judged by me. So that's the fourth option, is really creating a budget and just looking at, and it's very simple. It's very simple, but it's hard to do, isn't it? So listen, I hope you found value in this video. Comment, subscribe to my channel, guys. Please Share this video with somebody you think would benefit from it. I got you all. Have an awesome day.